Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations. Today we are live and we're going to be covering Season 3, Chapter 7 of The Clone Wars. And we got a pretty decent group of guests today.
Yep. So
Luke?
let's get into it.
You never would have made it as Obi-Wan's Padawan, but you might make it as mine.
I was trying to just, give a little peekaboo. Anyway, so yes, today we're going to be talking about the Assassin episode in Season 3 of Clone Wars. This is a pretty interesting episode, and the guests we have today are going to make this show a lot better. So we're going to introduce first Mariah Carley.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good, very good.
Fantastic. Just fantastic. We always love talking Star Wars.
Same.
Especially
I
Clone
can't get
Wars.
enough of it.
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Star Wars is hot right now. So next we have our second guest, the Naboo.Senator.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's pretty good. How are you guys?
Good, very good.
Just talking Star Wars.
Living the good life.
Yeah, living
Doing
the
the
good
daily.
life. Yeah, absolutely.
And then last but not least, we have Luke and I's pretty close friend, David, aka Xanatos.
David, how's it going?
Pretty good, you guys.
Oh,
Good. Amazing,
just
dude.
hanging in there.
It's great to have you all here today. And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go around and ask you individually, how did you get into this little fun place we call Star Wars? We'll start with David.
I've been a Star Wars fan since I was a kid. I watched A New Hope and at a buddy's house, and then I rented the rest of the movies. Read Legends for several years for the prequels. I was a kid, and I still feel like a kid.
Yeah, and I know how much you love Mara Jade too. Your series trying to make Mara Jade canon. Yeah,
I've kept that, like I've stopped doing that so much because I'm like, she's not gonna. She's never coming to canon.
Yeah. But
yeah. We'll move to Alicia. How did you find this franchise called Star Wars?
It's actually not a story I like telling too much, but it involves my ex.
Oh, fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Always fun.
Star Wars has stayed in my life longer than he did, so
Hey, that's not always a bad thing,
It's not.
At least a positive happened in that.
My new boyfriend cosplays with me, so it's fine.
That's
but
awesome. That's awesome.
Basically, he introduced it to me. I knew it as a kid. My dad watched it. He snuck to the theater when my grandma said he couldn't go see it. So we had the movies and everything, but I wasn't super into it. And then my ex brought me into the universe, and then I kind of delved in way deeper than he did, and it was like Legends, Clone Wars, did everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Brian, boys are temporary. Star Wars is forever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you don't need no man. You need the Force.
Yeah. The Force is the only thing that you need. Absolutely.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And up next, Mariah, tell me your story, how you got into Star Wars.
Well, kind of similar to Alicia, except for the whole X part. It's mine. Star Wars has always been there. My uncle was a big, massive fan, but I wasn't really a big fan. And it wasn't until, which I did see with Revenge of the Sith in theaters, but at the time I still wasn't like a huge fan. It wasn't until the Clone Wars came out that I was hooked. And the reason why I got hooked on it is because my younger siblings were 10 years apart, and they are big Star Wars fans. They loved it. And I wanted to be a better big sister to them, and so that's why I kind of got into Star Wars, was to relate to them. I was like, you know what, they like this, so let me sit down and watch this. And every day when I would come home from school, I was, in high school, and they were in elementary school, and come home and watch the Clone Wars together. That was what we did.
That's so cute.
Awesome. That is so cool.
And now my parents regret ever letting us watch it. Because all three of us we're just obsessed with Star Wars. So
No, yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
That is
No.
awesome. Yeah.
That you know what? That's the best thing about Star Wars. Like whether it's an X showing you the trilogy, or being just seeing like the original trilogy and then reading books and stuff, or just like having it family wise. Like it's so interesting to get a different perspective, and that's why I like bringing on different people and not having the same people on for every episode, because you get a different perspective of even from like Clone Wars episodes, because there's some things that I miss that somebody else might catch. So that's the biggest thing when I started this, was like to just like talk about the Clone Wars and kind of get our hands dirty and really talk about the episodes as a whole. Because I mean, a lot of these episodes that you could call fillers actually have a lot of meaning to them, and it's like so nice to see. But yeah. With that being said, Char.
Yep, let's get to the episode. And how this works is, before we start, I'm going to become a discount Tom Kane for about 20 seconds and read the plot summary. And honestly, yeah, I will forever be a discount Tom Kane. But yep, here is not chapter 3. I'm thinking about Boba Fett too much.
Oh, man.
Here is season
Boba
3,
Fett.
episode 7, Assassins plot summary. Criminals captured. Jedi Master Plo Koon and Padawan Ahsoka Tano successfully thwarted an attempt on Mace Windu's life, killing bounty hunter Aurra Sing in the process. Since that time, young Ahsoka has grown strong in the ways of the Force. Now, after several harrowing adventures alongside her master, the two Jedi have returned to the temple on Coruscant to receive their next mission.
There you go.
That was really good.
See, you get better every single time. Every single time, it gets better and better and better. So good job, Char.
I only accept little claps or snaps. I don't accept. I don't like big claps. Come on.
Oh, I was giving you a big clap, so I guess that's my fault.
Yeah,
you
shame
know?
on you. Anyway, let's dive into the episode, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Start from the top.
So, after the recent successful mission on Florum and Mandalore, Ahsoka is assigned by the Jedi Council and her master to take a break from the action. A decision that obviously Ahsoka is not happy with. But in short order, Ahsoka begins to have disturbing dreams of the bounty hunter Aurra Sing, who threatens to come after someone close to her. These visions get more and more troubling, but Ahsoka is gradually able to discern the target, Senator Amidala, which Alicia is graciously becoming Padme for this episode. So good catch, good job. She does wear the hair. She does wear the hairpiece that you just recently made in this episode, I believe.
She does not.
Oh, she doesn't? I thought. See,
Senate
I'm already 0
spies.
for 1. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, 0 for 1. 0 for 1 already.
She wears the classic one in this episode.
Yeah. And also the like when she comes back from being shot, she wears another hairstyle where her hair kind of looks like she's got tusks, and I'm like,
this is one of my like least favorite Padme looks in this episode, actually. I think, and like, nobody hate on me, okay? I'm a Padme stan; she's my favorite, obviously, but like, I don't like
her. Come on,
this.
Yeah.
I mean, I only cosplay her. Like, I've spent all my money on dressing like her, okay? But like, I don't like this outfit.
No, I feel ya. So obviously the count, like when Anakin and Ahsoka are in the council chambers, they're like, Ahsoka, you're gonna stay behind, and we're gonna send Anakin out into the field. And Ahsoka's like, but you always tell me that like I learn more at in the battlefield. And Anakin's like, prove me wrong, kid. And it's like,
yeah, and it's funny because she's still seen as like a 12-year-old like kid that that Anakin's watching. Like, hey, stay here and sit tight. You know, I'm gonna go to war. And then she'll be like, but I want to go. I want this.
Yeah.
Do you think
And it's
her
funny.
saving his secret wife was proof enough or no?
Yeah. Well, you know, hey, and here's the other thing. Do we think that Ahsoka kind of knew, or when do you think she really understood like the relationship between Padme and Anakin? Like, what part of the Clone Wars, like she was like, oh, this is.
I think it's the episode with like the blue gas.
Oh, blue shadow virus.
Yeah,
Blue
yeah.
that virus. I think that was the point that she realized.
Oh yeah. I think so too. I feel like that's a big one. And even so, then Anakin leaves. And Ahsoka's visions start to happen. So let's talk about the visions for a second, because obviously they're very, very connected to Episode 3 and how Anakin has his visions.
Yeah.
But the result of it is a lot different.
Mhm.
I just want everybody's thoughts on the whole like first vision that she gets of Aura Singh, because it feels like Aura Singh just comes out of nowhere and she's like on Dagobah, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But then again, it is a
it
vision.
reminded me of Yoda's vision in season 6.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is true. But thoughts on that? Anybody can jump in.
I love that they did that, because then it makes the vision Anakin had in Episode 3 even more taunting, because I mean, Ahsoka's vision was true. She was in danger. Someone was after him. So then in Episode 3, when he has a vision about Padme, he's like, "Oh, well, she's in trouble now, so I have to save her." So to me, it correlates in that way.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I like how it was getting more and more detailed as the visions went on. Like, it was vague at first, and then it just got more and more clear. But also, the entire episode, it seemed like Ahsoka was leaving little details out. It's like, no, wait, there's stuff, there's more stuff you can tell them. Why aren't you saying this now? You know?
No, yeah. Alicia?
I like I think so it's not, I guess it kind of jumps a little bit because it's not really this exact vision, but I kind of like their nod to like Ahsoka's uncertainty of if she's actually in danger, because then it's another nod to Episode 3 of like, is she actually in danger or is she not? And then they don't actually know if they're like, if Aura's successful. So it's I kind of like that, how they did that, but the whole like how they go about the vision thing makes me mad, so I have to like not get angry here.
No, yeah.
Like Yoda's way. I don't like
That's
how,
my issue. Yoda.
yeah, he handled it totally different from Anakin
Yeah.
and Ahsoka,
Yes.
and
It
like
makes
totally
me really
different.
mad.
He gave her better advice here than he gave Anakin in Episode 3.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And speaking of Yoda, the moral of the episode is the future has many paths. Choose wisely. And it harkens back to when Yoda tells Luke, always in motion is the future. And that you can't control it. And that's what this is literally Ahsoka's episode essentially about what's going on with her and her visions about Aura Singh. And yeah, I thought the moral of the story was just, it's spot on with what happens.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like, and it's like, Yoda, come on, figure it out. Like we understand now. We understand, like, if you've watched Rebels, like he when he's talking to Ezra, in the temple, he's like blinded. Like we were all blinded, and you can definitely tell that that's what's going on with Yoda, even in even from Episode 1 to like the Clone Wars, and then Episode 3, he didn't really see what was going on, because obviously in the Jedi Temple was built over a Sith shrine, which, by the way, Palpatine used frequently, very frequently. So like seeing that and him giving bad advice, I'm like, Yoda, come on. Like, let's get it together here, my guy. Like, you're supposed to be the top dog of the Jedi Order, and I just feel like you're slacking.
Yeah,
Like,
the dark side of the Force has clouded their vision. Yoda needs glasses. Then he can
Yeah.
see clearly.
no, yeah,
Force
absolutely.
classes.
Yeah, Force glasses.
2020 Force vision.
Yeah, he's lacking that 2020 vision for sure. So then the visions become more clear to Ahsoka, and she sees Padme, because like Yoda's like, is it someone close to you? Kind of like almost parallel to what he asked Anakin as well in the vision scene in Revenge of the Sith. And Ahsoka goes to the apartment, and she's like begging Padme to let her go with her. And I think it's interesting because if she did start to think that in the Blue Shadow Virus episode, she's like, this is who my master cares for the most, and he's not here to protect her. This is my duty now. Did anybody else kind of pick up on that? Or
I was thinking about that a lot in this episode, that like if she knew, there was a lot of pressure on Ahsoka for this entire episode to protect Padme, because Anakin would have been pissed.
Yeah, he would have been like, well,
He would have
even if,
lost it, obviously, but like,
no, yeah, I like it's so insane to like think about that. But what were everybody else's thoughts on that?
Well, I think that it was, courageous of Ahsoka to insist on protecting the senator because of the vision, but she took that mantle of protecting Padme, and I just think that's another step further into what she's become, in Rebels. And like she's continuously growing as a Jedi, and this is one of those very few steps that she takes to excel. And let me tell you, like, it's just like her character in this episode it's good because I don't know if it was Alicia or Mariah said something about how Anakin's vision wasn't true and how Ahsoka's was. Yeah, Mariah. And I love that how that parallel between Ahsoka and Anakin is into fruition because of how similar they are, not because of how they are like personally, like how they talk the same and they act the same. They think the same. And I think that's a really, really interesting connection between the two.
Yeah.
I also noticed, kind of off the vision part, this was like her last time using her one saber. She doesn't have both of her sabers in this episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. That is a good catch. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, because I was watching her, obviously, when she was fighting and defending herself. I was like, wait, she only has one saber. I forgot the point where I think it's like in the next episode, she has two sabers.
Yeah, so she's yeah. I that's a good catch because I didn't catch that. See what I mean? Like I love that. Like there are some things that I gloss over, and those are like the details that I always miss. So
yeah, we don't see her get her double saber until Destiny, Forces of Destiny, the little short. We see her.
okay.
We see both of her sabers.
Yeah, because Anakin gives them to her. It gives one, not both of them, but one of them to her, right? Isn't that how that goes? Because he wants her to be extra careful, like have an extra saber to protect herself, which, again, Anakin forming attachments. That's a no-no. Like, come on, bro.
So
Can't do that, Annie.
Yeah,
Can't do that.
It just looks cool.
No, yeah,
Fear of loss
absolutely.
is a path to the dark side.
Well, there you go.
And it's kind of ironic too that at the end of it, I'm jumping ahead to the very finale, but he picks up the one saber that she didn't make, he gave to her.
Yes.
So her second saber.
No, yeah, that is right. David, got any thoughts on like when she comes up to Padme and is like begging her to go, or well, actually she starts off and says like you need to stay, but like Padme's like I'm going, which is very much Padme.
It's very
like they're gonna kill me either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's throughout the episode, Padme kind of treats Ahsoka like with respect, but also it seems like she's humoring her just a little bit. Like, that first part where she's like, "Oh, of course you can come," but that was genuine. But then when Ahsoka bursts into the room and it's a false alarm, and then the next day Padme's like, it's fine, it's okay. It just seems like she was starting to doubt, but not saying it.
To be fair, she does that to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith too, when he tells her she's gonna die, and she goes, like, she's just like, okay, well, like, how's the baby? Like, she just kind of brushes it off.
Well, and I feel like that's kind of like this is an example of like, oh, visions, I've seen this before.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's not like, oh, I should be more aware because, the last vision you had, like, it was about your mom and it was right and she ended up dying. So, I mean, but, I mean, it is like, she's trying to be positive and keep, like, Anakin calm because, like, let's be real here. That boy was not thinking correctly. So
that boy's never calm, though. Like,
No, it's either all or nothing with that character.
I kind of feel like Padme is more like the type of person that is like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I'm still not going to change. So versus Anakin, who is, Ahsoka is like, I have to make this stop.
Yeah, yeah,
I-
absolutely. Mm-hmm. So Padme obviously lets her go. And Yoda, before she leaves, Yoda tells Ahsoka that there are many different outcomes to these visions, which is weird because it's like if she's having specific, I guess it makes a little bit of sense because like the Force, especially in visions, can be taken in a different perspective and thought of like different scenarios can happen. But like she gets the vision that David was talking about. And my God, Aura Singh is like a complete badass, and it's just like taken over like Ahsoka's mind from that one altercation on Florum. And like when she jumps into Padme's room, I'm like, bro, like being a Jedi would like be absolutely paranoid. Like I'd be absolutely paranoid. Like seeing visions and stuff like that would scare me half to hell. But
a lot of them went crazy because of that.
I just thought of like, wow, we've seen this one before. Anakin's run into her bedroom like that before too.
Yeah, that was exactly.
no, yeah, that vision was nuts. And then like Captain Panaka comes in and he's like, what's wrong? And Ahsoka's like, it's all down on herself, which is sad because it's like she shouldn't be doubting herself because Yoda's like, trust your, like before she leaves, he's like, trust your visions. Like you have to know, like you have to be able to trust yourself and know what the difference between you got to be able to trust your instincts, I guess I should say. And when she's down, Padme's kind of like, was this a bad decision to let her come with? Was it a good decision? But like ultimately at the end of the episode, obviously it was a good decision. But so when we get to Alderaan, so this is one of the only times that we actually see Alderaan on screen. Which is really nice because the only other time is when we see it in Revenge of the Sith before it gets blown up. I think we're gonna see
the way you
more...
said before it gets blown up sounded so depressing.
Well, it is. It
like,
is.
Yeah,
very...
this is the only time we see it before it just gets absolutely destroyed.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
sad.
I mean, we do. It's
Facts.
the truth. It's true. I don't spit falsity.
It's just the way you said it was funny.
So hearing did anybody else hear? Everybody else heard Leia's theme, right? Playing when they were landing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice it the first time I watched the show, but I did notice it.
There was a small hint of Yoda's theme when she was talking to Yoda too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I caught that and I was like, oh, that's so nice because it's like Padme going to like Leia's homeworld, like and
Before she's born.
Yeah, it's just like Bail having another story to tell Leia when she's younger, like how her mom's a badass and took a shot to the arm, and like it just brings it all.
Yeah,
full
he
circle.
actually never told her who her mom was.
That's right. Because in Bloodline, isn't it in Blood? She finds out in Bloodline, if I'm not mistaken.
But there's one of her when she was younger and she didn't know who her birth mother is, but she went to Naboo and she felt some kind of connection and didn't know why, and I can't remember what book it is.
So I think it's Princess Leia Princess of Alderaan by Claudia Gray. That's a good one. That's a very good Leia book.
Yes, it was. I love Claudia Gray too. She can write.
She can write Leia, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan. Like she can just write Star Wars in general so well.
Emotional damage.
Oh my God, she is perfect for that, and I envy it, and then I'm also heartbroken from it as well. But like, so when they land, Bail takes them to their quarters. There's 2 senator guards there, which I like. If you learn anything from Star Wars, like those senator guards are kind of useless because you see them in these the hostage crisis. They're useless there. Like they just prove themselves to be useless the entire series, but they're supposed to be like these guys that go through rigorous training, and I'm just like, why don't you just have clone trooper like commanders, like the commandos just standing there instead? But that's beyond me. But as they're walking in, Ahsoka like sits in the middle of the hallway and she's like, nobody's gonna be coming down this hallway. I'm gonna meditate. Thoughts on her meditating in like vision? I felt like this vision was a good one to kind of talk about as well.
I like that she just sat down and
Yeah.
that's like my favorite thing.
No, yeah.
I think it's nice though to see her kind of like try, because like I don't know, it's another thing compared to Anakin. Like Anakin never really like actively tried to meditate like and figure out the visions. They just kind of happened, which I think is an interesting thing because she was able to kind of she had them in her dreams without trying, but then also she was able to kind of like use the Force to kind of try and make them appear. Whereas maybe that's why Anakin's were different. He had no control over them because they weren't real. Like,
Right.
No, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a ton of sense. Like she uses it to her advantage.
Yeah.
In these situations where Anakin was being reactive instead of he's being reactive instead of like trying to figure out the solution
Also,
first.
Yeah. Also, Anakin was having them in a dream setting, so he wasn't meditating. He wasn't trying to hone in on them. Versus Ahsoka, she is trying to focus and see what this vision is, but versus Anakin's, both of his visions all came from. Oh well, actually,
he had the one where he was sitting in their living room on his little thing.
Yeah, with Kenobi.
And it just happened. Like he just.
Oh
was
yeah, the
telling
one
us
with his
how.
little Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did. See, I thought I don't know. For some reason, I thought he was like sleeping, and then it just cut to him being awake.
But I think it was passive. Like there was no he wasn't trying to make it happen. I don't think. Like it was.
He was looking at some kind of tablet. I don't know if he was watching Book of Boba Fett or something. He was watching something.
I've heard like people's, I don't know if it's like a headcanon or if it's actually like a thing, rumors, whatever. People say that he was checking in on Ahsoka, like on the Mandalore situation. That's what he was doing on there.
That would be nice because at that point,
that's my headcanon. But
well, that's not a bad headcanon because like
No.
it would make sense because during Siege of Mandalore, like she checks in with Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan's on Utapau.
Lucasfilm, make it canon.
Yeah, make it canon.
Well, they've already said like the whole thing of Star Wars is supposed to be like a newsreel. So
there you go. It could have been
like propaganda. There we go. It's all propaganda episodes. So.
David, your thoughts on her meditating in the hallway and kind of like using that to her advantage?
I thought it was really interesting that she's just like, you know what, I'm going to plop right down on the floor and just do it right here. But I was also thinking after the incident in the bedroom, I was like, why don't you just have a droid in there or you yourself like meditate in the room to make sure, you know. But I like that she was focusing, like she plopped down on the floor, is like, oh, and she got a new piece of it. Then she went right into the room to tell Padme.
No, yeah. So like that second vision, like she's starting to see things clearer, which is good because it starts to progress as she's starting to trust her visions and trust herself, which is big character growth as a Jedi that Anakin didn't necessarily get in the prequel trilogy. He is the Jedi to react to go headstrong into a situation instead of like looking at it and thinking like things through, like Obi-Wan from a standpoint.
Yeah, that was Anakin's downfall because he thought with his heart and not his head.
Yes, and he had attachments and he tried to help his friends, and I mean I commend him for it, but like that's his biggest downfall.
Anakin stands.
Yes, I will say this every single time it gets brought up. I am not the typical Anakin Skywalker stan.
Yes, you are.
He did. He is as responsible for what happened in the story as everybody else.
Okay, you can be an Anakin fan, but are able to admit that he did do things wrong.
Yes, like
Sorry, he's a horrible person. Everything he did was horrible, but I love him to death.
yeah, absolutely. Like
He
he's a,
went the wrong way about
Yeah.
it.
if
He had
only
good
Very much so.
intentions.
yeah, if
I
they
think.
if they would have had High Republic therapists, Jedi therapists, it all could have been prevented. That's all I'm gonna say.
What was
Yeah, if he
Padme's
had-
health insurance, man? Like, couldn't she just go
Paul
see a
Bless it.
therapist?
Come on.
No doubt. So
Babe, I think you have some trauma that needs to be worked out.
yeah, go see the therapist in the Jedi Temple. Maybe that will help. Don't go to Yoda. I heard he's not
He goes
very
and sees the
good.
therapist. Hi, I am Tara Sanube.
Oh god. or Jocasta just shows up and it's like, no, you're the librarian. I don't need you. Like, come on.
I
We don't
think you
need
should
this.
read this book.
Yeah. She's just like shoves a book in his hands and it's like Jedi
It's like, it's
therapy.
This
simply
holds
not
the
there.
knowledge you're looking for.
If it's not there, it's not there, type of.
Yeah, yeah, if it's
I
not
don't
there, then it
understand
doesn't
how the
exist.
Jedi were just like, oh yeah, your mom died in your arms. That's fine. You're okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Like,
shrug it off,
no,
baby.
no, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
and like the other thing with Anakin is like he is very different from like the typical Jedi younglings that
Oh, absolutely.
come through the order. Like he was brought into the he had a life before
He
the
had
Jedi.
attachments already.
Yeah,
And
so
that,
like the
they
hardest
ignored
part.
that.
Yeah, but the hardest thing is like he also fed into those attachments.
Yeah.
And that's where the disconnect comes. Like people will forgive him, will give him a pass for everything that he did because of some of the decisions, because they failed to see like he was the one that made the decisions. Like the Jedi didn't force him to do like to get married to Padme. Like they didn't
I
force
always
him to do any
say
things.
in Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, he was a grown man. He knew what he
Yes.
was doing.
Exactly.
He made those decisions on his own, despite like, okay, he was groomed growing up by Palpatine. Yes, okay.
Yes.
Not, like that's fair. That is wrong. What happened? But he still made those decisions as a grown man.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and Palpatine just used his little web as Palpatine's like the ultimate manipulator. Like he's that evil ex that like just like tries to manipulate your entire life, but he succeeds and it's the worst. So Padme is preparing to attend the conference. And the main conference why they're there is to increase humanitarian problem, like the increasing humanitarian problem of the war refugees. So this is actually happens chronologically after the supply lines episode, because it's like the humanitarian effort didn't go exactly the way they wanted it to. It succeeded, but they need more legislation, and that's what Padme's there for. And which is funny because I feel like everybody looks at Padme and they're like, this chick knows how to do this. Like
Yeah.
They always turn to her for like to either speak on something. It's either her or Bail. Like there's hardly any other issues where Mon Mothma's like, hey, I can speak on this. It's like always Padme and always Bail, which I find interesting because it's like they do so much in the Senate. We don't
Yeah.
get a whole bunch of episodes with like just Senate stuff, and I think those are also very interesting episodes as well.
And what that reminded me of was that deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith, where
The delegation
Mon
of
Moth, yeah,
Yes.
the delegation, yeah, where they're all talking about the war and what it's come to, and
They need to feel safe.
yeah. I wish they kept that in the movie because it was like that was like the precursor to the rebellion, essentially.
there was
It
a
was
few
just-
things they really should have kept in that movie.
Yeah.
The deleted scene where Obi-Wan goes to see her as well. I wish.
Or the one
Yes.
where Obi-Wan goes, or the
And he's
Yeah.
like, I know everything. Like, I just pretended I didn't know.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, and then it's also hinted in season 7 of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Did you say hello for Padme?
Hello,
for
did you
me?
say hello? Like,
Yeah, like Obi-Wan's just like, dude, I've known this for years. I haven't said shit because I didn't want to break the rules. But bro, you got to be better than that.
You gotta be better than this.
Yeah. So Ahsoka
Well,
starts.
he did break the rules himself, so
Yes. So honestly, I think like they and like in that
Corky
Mandalore
was
part-
last week, guys.
Corky was last week, and we talked extensively
Corky.
on that, and like
No, I never, but
I buy
I'm-
buy into that.
I'm gonna, yeah, 100%. That's his son, and I will go as far as connecting him to Ray. Like I can go on and on. I have a headcanon how they can do that.
I'll also comment that I think Obi-Wan knew, like, obviously that Anakin loved Padme, but I actually don't think he knew the extent of their relationship. Like, I don't think he knew they were married or like.
No.
Well, Anakin didn't even know she was pregnant, so like, which is a whole other thing I could go off on that I think is hilarious, but like, I won't because it's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't
But
think
like,
he knew. I agree with you. I don't think he knew she was they were married.
Well, because like he even in like their last conversation in Revenge of the Sith, like he's like Anakin's the father, isn't he? Like he knew like they had a relationship. He just didn't know how far it went. And I feel like that conversation is like the one that breaks Obi-Wan the worst. Like that last conversation like breaks him. And hopefully we see some stuff in Kenobi, but which we'll talk about later. So Ahsoka's second vision, she doesn't know where exactly the assassination will happen. She just has she's trying to talk to I think she's talking to Bale. And they go into their conference room and she's like, this is familiar, like this is where it's gonna, and Bale's like, this is the main, like this is where this is all gonna happen. And so they start the conference. Padme's talking, and we can see Ahsoka kind of putting it together. Like she's like, this is familiar, like I know it's like this point. And she takes off. Nobody does anything else. It's just Ahsoka. Everybody just stands there and it's like, oh, I bet she's got it. No worries.
Yeah.
And we see Aura Singh. And that was like the coolest interaction between Ahsoka and Aura Singh in that moment. Like she's like, oh crap, so she's really alive. I wasn't for sure, but now she is. And luckily, so she saw in the vision that Padme gets shot, but it's actually because of her she saves her life. So I found that very interesting. What was everybody's thoughts on that whole sequence?
Well, I mentioned her lightsaber. That's the sequence that I noticed that she only had the one lightsaber, and I enjoyed it. Anytime I can get Ahsoka, of course I'm a big Ahsoka stan. So
there you go.
I'm just like, and I noticed her fighting style too. I was just watching it and how she was fighting, and it was different. And I'm just like, oh, because I'm also in martial arts, and I'm just like, oh, that's not practical way of fighting. So, but it's fine.
I love the like adding on to that what Mariah said. I love like the whole thing that people say about how Anakin like hated the way Ahsoka handled her lightsaber reverse grip and like constantly tried to get her to stop, and then he was like, "Fine, have to."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there was when she was charging Aura, she did this like cool parkour thing where she bounced on the walls and deflected. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean,
she's a cool lady.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool lady.
So,
yeah.
so after she gets hit with the blaster fire, like Ahsoka's like she goes into panic mode, which obviously again, like this is how we know that Ahsoka knows that like those two are like really, really close. And Padme's like, I am gonna do this conference, hell or high water. I'm gonna do it. It doesn't matter. Like we can do this. And like Ahsoka's like, huh, I got an idea. And I feel like Ahsoka is like underrated and underappreciated when it comes to like things like this. She's she's like Obi-Wan, so I feel like she's a mixture of both Anakin and Obi-Wan. She is headstrong like Anakin, but also thinks out situations like Obi-Wan. And like using the luxury droid was spot on. just spot on.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the
Except
most.
for that it wasn't.
But it was. If it wouldn't have been Aura Singh, it would have worked on any other bounty hunter. Like, come on. Except for maybe not every bounty hunter. Cad Bane probably would have saw through that. Boss probably would have saw through that. Boba Fett, Mando. But Mando's a little kid at this point, so we can't really count him.
We can't count him.
We can't count him. But
Yeah, that was that was an extremely clever thing that Padme did.
Yeah, extremely.
Really, I thought it was predictable.
Really?
Yes.
Well, how come?
because-
How come Aura Singh didn't really like foresee it?
Well, she didn't foresee Ahsoka coming in after her, but she did see her. She did foresee it. That's why she went to Padme's room where she was recording. So
I
she
think I
knew
know
that was.
why. So my thing with the Clone Wars is that Padme wears outfits more than once.
Yes.
Right.
And so I noticed watching. I actually watched this episode today as a refresher, but I noticed on the droid they put her cloak that she wears to Tatooine with Anakin.
Yes.
And so that it's the cloak. So maybe Aura was just like, "Oh no, she's not wearing that." That's a joke, obviously. That's probably not why. But like,
no, yeah.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Well, I mean,
also, that all the people were just clapping for the droid walking in with no security.
And I was like,
Right.
you put the Senate guards around her. Didn't I just say that they're useless? Like, what are we doing here? Come
but
on.
to me, it's kind of like kind of predictable because like obviously Aura Singh's gonna know that you're gonna be waiting for her in the exact same position. You're not gonna go to try to do the exact same assassination twice. Then you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
So you gotta think. I don't know. You gotta think one more step ahead of them.
Yeah. David, thoughts on the luxury droid? Using the luxury droid.
I thought it kind of stood out a little bit. I thought it was a good idea overall. But someone like Aura Singh, it made sense for her to see through that, and it was cool in the moment when Ahsoka was like actively looking for her like through the Force. It's like, wait, she's not here, and then takes off again, but nobody initially follows her, but that time they actually had people following her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Panaka was like not closely behind,
Panaka,
but he's
you
like,
mean Typho?
oh, have I been calling him the wrong guy? Dang it, those two. See, I was so confident that it was Panaka's. No, Typho. Yeah, Typho's like, the first time he doesn't move. The second time he's like, oh shit, she left. I gotta follow her. I thought it was so funny when Ahsoka gets into the room and blocks the she like pulls down, she force pulls the vent and pulls down Aura Singh like and flops to the ground. That's hilarious.
So
that was the only time I laughed out loud is when she just flopped out of the vent.
I was like, wow, this is great. Just watching Aura Singh, one of the most badass bounty hunters, flop onto the ground was funny. But like she or like I said, Aura Singh, I feel like is like one of the most underrated bounty hunters in like the entire Star Wars galaxy. Because like even watching when she's with Boba, like she's fierce, like very fierce.
She was fierce until she got killed by Tobias Beckett.
Allegedly.
There is no body.
There's no body.
Yeah.
Just like anything else in fantasy fiction, if I don't see a body or there's not a head rolling, they're not dead. So unless you're Jon Snow, and then
she just wants to pop up in the Book of Boba Fett. Come on.
Which is a possibility
More the
because
merrier.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Yes.
At this point, it could be anyone.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So obviously Aura Singh sees through the plan. Ahsoka obviously senses her. Before Singh manages to wound Ahsoka, she gloats that she was sent by an old enemy of Padme's to carry out revenge, and like it's so funny. Like she shoots she's like, it's typical like hostage situation. She shoots the door. And then she just like rapid fires, like without any like regard for herself. Like there's no way she's gonna blast like get the deflect the blaster bolt right back at me. No way. And like she's just like her guns are sweet though too. By the way, like the way they sound are.
Yeah.
Just, oh my god.
I love the sound of her blasters.
Oh,
That's-
oh, good lord. But Ahsoka gets hit in the right shoulder, I believe, and we kind of see Padme pull out a blaster as well, which obviously makes sense because she's been through so much in her life, including the invasion and then the Clone Wars and Attack of the Clones, and so
aggressive negotiation.
yeah, aggressive. Yeah, she's great at aggressive negotiation now that she's been with Anakin so much.
I'd let her negotiate with me anytime. Does anybody else know that? You guys know that deleted scene, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
yeah. That one's a good one. And right as Aura Singh, and Aura Singh gets cocky. She gets very cocky in that moment. But what was everybody's thoughts on that big action sequence?
Oh, it's one of my favorite action scenes in all of Clone Wars. I think it was just so well done with what they did with Ahsoka and how Aura Singh went at her. Like, I thought it was different than what other bounty hunters would do. Like, usually they would, keep their distance and just keep on shooting. But Aura Singh was just reckless. Like, it was crazy.
You see, like, kind of Ahsoka's face change too after, like, she gets hit. Actually, you do see her face. Like, I don't know, just the look in her eyes was like she was scared. She was like, "Oh no, how am I going to get out of this one?" And of course, she looks down and see Padme with her, kind of give her a wink.
I think it was a big nod to Padme's character that she stunned Aura instead of killing her.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she's still like, this woman just tried to kill her multiple times and she still would not kill her. So
it was still like a reminder that Padme is a badass because she just pulls out the gun. Even though she stunned her, it still shocked Aura that she would, oh my god, you have a gun.
She's a badass, but she won't just kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also best to stun them when you have that option, so that way you can interrogate them.
Yeah, they need
find
the
out.
information.
Yeah, who is sending these bounty hunters? Because if you just kill this one, then another one's going to come.
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Even though another one does come.
Yeah, that's true too. She stuns Aura. They get her. They capture her. They go back to Coruscant after the conference is over. Yoda and Anakin, and seeing Anakin's face when he sees both Ahsoka and Padme injured, like that should have been like Yoda's green, like red flag, like right there, like dude, what are you so
flag?
Yeah, green
this
flag.
This is one of my favorite interactions between Padme and Anakin in the entire series.
Yeah, because he's just like, "Are you okay? Like, are you both okay?" And it was kind of reminiscent to when, at the end of the Blue Shadow Virus arc, because he does the same thing. Like he's very, again, like he forms attachments. He's trying to put everybody first and trying to do his best, but damn, that guy.
There's one thing he says to Padme in this, and I think you might get to it, but it's like my favorite thing.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, it's where like they're talking and they're saying, "Oh, like who could have sent it was revenge. Who could have sent this bounty hunter?" And Padme's like, "Well, someone who's trying to get back at me." And Anakin's like, "That could be a lot of people." And she just looks at him and goes, "Well, yes."
Yeah. You're not wrong. Like, but we gotta get down to the bottom of it. And like, Yoda goes, "Ahsoka, this is your thing. Like, your visions have been spot on. Like, trust them." Like, and she sees, she obviously hears. What is she? So she uses her improved, precognitive abilities to find out who is behind the assassination attempt. Although Ahsoka gets only a few blurry impressions, Padme is able to deduce the main culprit, which is Zero the Hutt. My God, I hate Zero the Hutt so much.
He always
freaking Cajun
he's always
accent.
behind everything. I don't know why. Why is he always the mastermind behind all of these bounty hunter attacks?
Get it?
It's the Cajun accent that gets me. Like, if he
it was
and me being here in the South, and of course we get tourists from Louisiana, I'm just like, ugh. And then hearing that accent, I'm just like, it's so bad.
Yeah, I'm just like, God, damn it, it's Zero the Hutt again. And like it's so funny how they go to the prison. They go to Zero the Hutt's like her and Anakin go there, and Ahsoka's like, "We know you did it," and Aura's like, no, Zero's like, "Oh, she wouldn't have told you that I did that," and then she outs herself. I'm like, you are literally the worst criminal in the entire galaxy.
How did he hire her while in prison? Who did he talk to?
So
The
obviously,
Republic is corrupt.
Well, the
okay.
That's
Republic
true.
is corrupt, and like the Hutts, they are able to do a ton. In like they have a lot of connections. So I mean, it makes sense that he had somebody like.
Does Zero have visiting hours?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was-
nice noodles.
Spice noodles.
Oh God.
Oh no! Don't even put that in my head.
Don't give me that. I think we brought that up a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't get that image out of my head. It was not okay.
Hey, I don't blame you.
I love that like Ahsoka was like purple, laughter, shapes, and Padme was like, it's Zero the Hutt.
Padme is like, I know exactly who
I
that
know who this is.
Yeah, absolutely. So then that's she goes satisfied. Ahsoka and Anakin leave Zero to serve an additional term in prison. Like they're like, yeah, you're never getting out of here after
never
that.
getting out of
And then he
here.
does the typical like when you're in the cell and you're like, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. You just like in the like the
I'll be back.
yeah they
They
have
just
a they have a
float away.
Yeah, they have a panning shot like away from the cell, and all you hear is Zero, and I'm just like, oh my God.
It's like your cliche villain when he goes to jail
Gets-
and he's like, I'll be back for you. You
No,
can't
yeah.
hide from me.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's like Zero, shut up. You suck. Get out of here. Get out of
It's
here.
another reason for Anakin to hate the Hutts.
Oh yeah. Yep, absolutely. And that's the end of the episode. So it's only a one shot. So like the last couple of weeks we've had just one episode.
Yeah.
So Char,
Are you ready?
you ready?
All right. Here we go. This is my segment where I say 3 facts about the episode that you didn't know about. Ready?
Uh-huh.
3 interesting facts about a certain Clone Wars arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 12, The Assassin. Fact 1, a Rebel Alliance reference. The helmets worn by the Alderaanian guards in the episode are the same shape as the Rebel soldiers wear at the beginning of A New Hope. Fact 2, Aurra Sing's makeup. The dark strip of makeup that is on Aurra Sing's face is meant to be or pay an homage to the same makeup Pris wore from Blade Runner. Fact 3, similar visions. The visions Ahsoka has during the episode has the exact same distortion effect that Anakin Skywalker has in the films. And there you have it. Those are the 3 interesting facts about the assassin.
There you go. So next we're going to get into the rankings. So the way this works is as follows. And everybody in the chat, if you are here, give us your ranking of this episode. Youngling bad, Padawan okay, Jedi Knight good, Jedi Master great, Grandmaster is chef kiss. A lot of episodes. I think there's only been one where there's been a Grandmaster given out. And there's not a ton of them in the first 3 seasons. In the first 2.5 seasons, there's only a couple that I would have given a Grandmaster to. But let's start off with Alicia. What is your ranking of this episode?
I am such an early Clone Wars stan. Like I love the early seasons of the Clone Wars. So everyone's always like, "Oh, they get better," but I love them. I really like this episode, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. So I'd probably give it like a Jedi Knight. Like it's good.
Okay.
I'm gonna enjoy it a lot, but it's not like Mortis. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's a heavy hitter. My goodness, that's coming up, so I'm so excited about that. Mariah,
I will give this maybe a Jedi Knight good until it got to 0. Then it went down to Padawan. I'll be honest, because I forgot that 0 was behind it, and then when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this ruined it for me." So I'm gonna have to give it a Padawan just because of 0.
damn, that's rough.
Yeah,
rough.
I
ending.
can't
The ending.
stand him. I can't stand him.
I agree. He's the worst.
You should be
When-
on for when
whenever-
Zero and Sai have their little moment.
Oh no!
No.
I can't. I was so
Young
worried when I
Link.
saw when I saw the twins pop up in Book of Boba. I was like, please don't let them have a Cajun accent. Please don't let them. I was so scared.
Just
Hey, at least they didn't speak English.
Do we know? Do we know who the twins' parents are? If they're from, because they're cousins of Jabba, are they Zero's kids? Are they? Do we know?
Watch it be
I told-
Rada the Hutt, but she's like an accelerated clone of Jabba, and
Oh,
I just thought they all were like cousins because, like, here in South, we refer to everyone as our cousin.
cousins.
So
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that
I
makes
don't
sense.
know.
That makes
Are the
sense.
Hutts all just like somehow related? Like,
yeah,
Probably. David.
So I was thinking about it. I actually think Jedi Master, and only because every little bit that makes Clone Wars great is sprinkled into this episode somewhere. So it fits all the pieces together, and minus Zero the Hutt at the end. But everything else, like you got the political intrigue, you got a little bit of a lightsaber action with Ahsoka, and just all these good elements that make a pretty good episode.
No, yeah. Char, what's yours?
I'm gonna give it a Jedi Knight simply because of I really liked how Aura Singh was used in this episode, and I loved the amount of connections that it had to the original trilogy with how Luke on Dagobah was talking to Yoda and Obi-Wan about how he has visions of the future and he wants to trust his instincts and go help them, and they're telling him no. But when someone actually believes in Ahsoka with her visions, they were successful. So I was like, it's good knowing that Ahsoka didn't take a risk in order to do what was right, because everyone concurred with her. So I give this one a Jedi Knight.
I'm gonna go with Jedi Knight because what everybody else said. Like
Okay.
it's hard to be the last one to go because it's like everybody has said so many good things. And
Hey, you're the
like,
penultimate one. Come on.
I agree. I agree with everything that was said. Zero the Hutt is the worst. Again, she's the worst Hutt out of them all, and I can never get that out of my head. But that being said, we are gonna get into our segment, Star Wars news.
Let's see.
All right. So this wasn't in the notes when I sent them to our guest, but there are rumors that this boy or this man, we are going to see him sooner than we think, than some of us might think.
Yeah, so the Obi-Wan
Um,
Kenobi, the title of the news is Obi-Wan Kenobi series, was accidentally revealed to be May of 2022. I know we've been waiting for a release date for the show. I don't know who exactly who released the date.
So it's not it's okay. So what they're putting together, it's either this person is they're an enterprise program manager at Disney Plus. So they believe that there might
probably not
be
anymore.
yeah, probably maybe not anymore.
not
But-
anymore.
Way to go, Brandon. Good job.
So
Boo, Brandon.
yeah.
Brandalorian.
So so we just got today that we are going to get a 5-issue run of Obi-Wan. It's going to span from his time being a youngling, Padawan, Jedi Knight, Jedi Master, and a little bit in between of what we get from Obi-Wan. My theory is, so this is just going to add on to it. We get Brotherhood and the Padawan book in May. If it's going to be a later release, I think that's silly.
I think they already released the date for Brotherhood by Mike Chen. I
Yes,
think it was May 10th.
May 10th.
Yeah.
So I think it just makes the most sense that we're getting it either on May 4th or before then. I think we're getting a trailer during the Super Bowl.
I feel like that would be
Yeah.
the best scenario to get it,
Would
because
you
I mean,
think it?
No, go ahead.
Sorry. Would you think it would be late May though, like on the release of when Star Wars first came out?
Well, celebrations in towards the end Memorial Day weekend. I don't think they
yeah.
would
Well,
do
I mean,
that.
A New Hope came out May 25th. of 77.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it comes out a day before Celebration happens,
Yeah.
and that'll spark up a lot of interest with the fans that are there.
But what are you gonna do with May the 4th?
When's
Bad
Memorial
Batch,
Day?
season
Sorry,
2?
I'm Canadian.
The
Oh yeah,
bad-
that's right. Hold on. Sorry.
What day's
Forgot.
Memorial Day?
So Memorial Day here
Memorial
in
Day
the
is
States,
May
Monday.
30th. May 30th.
May 30th.
Okay.
So it's a
And
Monday.
In Star Wars Celebration is from the 26th to the
29th.
May 4th.
9th.
What's May 4th on this year?
May 4th is a Wednesday, which is if they keep the release date, releases
think-
on Wednesday nights, which Wednesday mornings, which I hope to God we don't do anymore. Please put
it's
Star Wars
kind
back
of-
on Fridays.
Okay.
Kind of a pain.
I have two things. I don't think it will be made for two reasons. They're not going to let it compete with Bad Batch because it'd be a waste of for their money. And two, Marvel has a film coming out in May. They don't want to compete with the two. They never
Or maybe-
compete.
Or maybe they'll just wait to release Bad Batch. I don't know what they'll do
When's
with
the
it.
new
'cause,
season? Did they release a release date for Bad Batch yet?
Early.
I think
it
they
was early
just said-
spring. I think it was early spring.
Early spring.
Because
but
I've
we're-
heard some
we're,
people
like, right
saying
around
that,
the
like,
corner.
They
Yeah.
think we'd have like Boba Fett and then
A month off for Moon Knight.
we'd have Bad Batch and then a bit of a break, Obi-Wan, and then Mandalorian.
Well, Andor. Andor comes out this year too.
Andor comes out as well. So there'd be basically we'd have new content every week kind of thing, except for here and there.
I
But
think if Bad Batch is released in March, then yes, it will come out May 4th.
yeah.
Because it's what 12 episodes? Is it 12 episodes? Right, it's 12 episodes for Bad Batch, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then that would end it right there in May. And then if it's only 5 or 6 episodes, it
Yep.
should end it. If it's 5 episodes, then it will end right when
Celebration starts.
Multiverse of Madness comes out of Doctor Strange.
When does that come out? Late May or
May.
early May?
Late May. I'm
Late
pretty
May?
sure.
And I mean, if it was May the 4th, it could run until Celebration is starts on that 26th. So the last episode could air the day before Celebration, and then they can have a panel coming out and saying, "Hey, you got your Obi-Wan show. Now here's your Vader show." That would be the perfect scenario. but
I
it's not gonna
don't
happen.
think that there
I
will
don't.
be a Vader.
I don't want
No,
to be
they're
in
not
the
gonna.
show.
They're not.
I don't want
Hayden
a
will
Vader
not
show.
do that. I'm gonna say he will not do that.
I don't think so either. But
It'd be announcing Ahsoka. It'd be Ahsoka they announce at Celebration after
I'm
Obi-Wan.
still surprised he came back for this. So
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way we're getting a Vader show. If you want to see a Vader show, just watch episodes 1 through 6. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in Ahsoka.
Yeah,
yes, I'm
that-
so
yeah.
excited for that.
So, David, what are your thoughts? Kenobi.
Um,
Speculation.
I mean, I was just thinking, what if anything are we going to get at the end credits of Book of Boba Fett?
That's what I was gonna say too.
Like,
But here's the thing: it's the end credit scene from Mando to Book of Boba Fett. They were in the same timeline. So if there was an end credit scene of Obi-Wan Kenobi after that, I feel like that just wouldn't make sense.
But it's on Tatooine. There's your
Okay.
connection.
that's the connection.
There's your connection.
Oh, sand.
It's coarse. It's rough. It gets everywhere.
I think
Yeah.
it will just be leading into maybe the Mandalorian season 3. Just let those two, because I'm pretty sure the whole Book of Boba is going to turn into the Book of Mandalore.
Yeah, yeah,
What
absolutely.
if at the end of Book of Boba Fett? What if next week we see Kira, and then Kira happens to survive, and then she
Crimson
contacts a
Reign.
guy with blue skin and red eyes, and he's like the big bad of what's going to be coming in the
Basically,
future.
do the Maul and Solo, her that.
Yeah,
to me, the
basically,
post-credit scene
I
is
feel like we
with
could see
her.
Thrawn. I feel like we could see Thrawn in the end credit scene.
Oh, don't say that. Oh no.
Oh man.
I didn't even
Yes,
think
Lady
about that.
Kira.
No,
Yeah, it leads into Ahsoka. Sorry.
Let's find a way
I
to take out this Jedi scum.
I think we're going to for sure. I really want to see a trailer for the Super Bowl. Come on, you didn't give us anything for Disney Plus Day, which I'm still kind of upset about. But we did get that sizzle reel, but that was from the Investors Day of what we didn't see.
Well, Luke, patience is a virtue, and just look
my
at the recent
patience
episode
is
of Book of Boba Fett.
withering
I'm gonna make
away.
a comment
At the
as well.
recent episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Tell me your
I
patience
have to
hasn't
make a
paid off,
comment
okay?
as well, Luke. I'm sorry. Please don't be offended by this, any of you. You're
What?
thinking very American by saying that you
You're-
think that the trailer is going to be at the Super Bowl.
You are
A
right.
lot of the
You
rest
are
of the world does
absolutely
not
right.
give a
Well, Super Bowl's a
shit
big
about
event.
American football.
But it's the most.
Not
it's the most,
really.
It's the most viewed. Sorry, but I have to disagree. I have to agree with Luke on the Super Bowl because it's the most watched show in America.
Well, and it also the commercials first specifically. Everybody watches the Super Bowl just for the
Yeah.
commercials. Some people just watch it for the
Okay.
commercials. And
Yes.
if they drop something, it's got to be Kenobi. Like, because I
Yeah.
feel like Kenobi on Disney Plus, that is what's driving
did-
a lot of the Star Wars content right now. Because I feel like with their subscriptions, they're like, okay, Mando's going to be a hit. Like, we know Boba Fett's doing all right, depending
Force
on who you
Awakens
talk
was
to.
a drop. Wasn't one of the pre?
One of the
the
teasers
sequels-
were.
Yeah,
Yes.
one of the teasers were dropped during the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
that's true.
I would love it because obviously my Chiefs didn't make it, so it'd like make me happy that I'm not like watching.
I would hate it because I don't give a crap about the Super Bowl, and a lot of other countries don't care. But like,
yeah.
I just I don't know. I don't.
It'd just be on YouTube that exact same minute. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
drop it.
true.
Yeah, I don't watch football either, but I feel like with those commercials, immediately it's going to go onto social media.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
I will be stalking social media during the Super Bowl. It's like, okay, what are the cool commercials? What are the lame ones? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All I
Me
can
and
see
Am I
if that
the
if it
only
does
one
happen,
that just doesn't do this? Like,
all I can
don't
see what happen
understand.
is we
You know?
would see like a little boom, and then Lucasfilm, boom, and then you see like sand drifting along the Dune Sea, and then you
Oh my
see
god.
these robes like going by in the wind, and then you
Yeah.
see
And
a
they-
gray-haired Ewan McGregor.
Oh,
Imagine.
And you can see the Super Bowl
Imagine.
commercials now. Right now, all of them are up right now. Besides,
When's the Super
obviously,
Bowl?
next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday, and also
noted.
the Book of Boba Fett finale is next Wednesday, so it kind of
Right.
times up to where
Oh
you
my
can
God.
speculate
Times
that
up
it would come out.
Dude,
for the
if
Super
if
Bowl.
it happens, I'm gonna become so feral. Like nobody's don't talk to
Feral
me.
like
I will be
Savage's
like,
brother.
ah, oh my god, like
Screw football. Like that's all
yeah.
that matters. At
No,
that point.
like I'm not like I watch the Super Bowl for the football, but like also the like it's
Hell has frozen over because how the hell are the Bengals in it? Sorry.
I
Like-
know. I absolutely I I don't get
Burr.
me started.
Burr.
I'm from the Cincinnati area, and I'm
Are
like,
you really?
yes, I am. And
That's awesome.
my dad's a huge Bengals fan, and I'm a Patriots fan though. And
Oh,
Why is everyone Patriots fans?
Why?
Well,
no.
I know, but see, the thing is, I'm a military brat, and I grew up in Boston, so I'm a big Red Sox fan. But my dad's from Cincinnati. He grew up as a
See-
Cincinnati
see,
Bengals fan.
Mariah,
My first,
I'm a
I
sad
will
Bears
forgive
fan. Leave
you.
me alone.
I will forgive you because I know you're not gonna shove it in my face. You're not gonna be like, oh, I've seen like 13 championship parades in my lifetime, and
I
know.
never lose.
I've only seen one Super Bowl win. I have only seen one World Series championship from one of my teams. Like that, I don't want to hear anything.
Oh no! This year, I really thought. Obviously, I thought the Red Sox were going to make it to the World Series, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, "Do not buy me a ring. Buy me World Series tickets. I have to go."
That's
this.
awesome.
But
That is awesome.
But yes, the Bengals being in it, my dad's like on cloud nine.
That's awesome.
My siblings are also Bengals fans, and he has like a big Facebook post. He's like, "Look, I raised these kids right," and he goes, "Sorry, Mariah."
Yeah, no, yeah, like it's so.
You weren't raised right. I'm like,
Yeah.
great.
So like, we'll get off football talk here.
I'm
Just
really
give
excited about
me-
Olympic hockey. You know, like
There you go. Hey, the Olympics start tomorrow.
Kieran?
everyone's
Where's
super
Kieran?
excited about football, but I'm like a huge hockey fan.
Kieran in the
so-
chat. Kieran, are you in the
See,
chat?
I am a hockey fan too, and the Brewers are like they do horrible every year. So
Yeah.
I mean, I just get to cheer on Team Canada, and we win a hell of a lot, so I'm good.
yeah.
Like-
Here's my debit card. Don't take my money, but it has a Blackhawks logo on it. Yeah. Even though that team is under a lot of heat right now, I still love them.
you know, like
Anyway.
him too.
But
yeah, American winter sports, we don't do that hot. I don't.
No. Snowboarding though.
You
Snowboarding
guys
is
do
our game.
okay, and we've beat you in hockey
We
a few
have
times, like in the
we have
last
Summer
game. So you've done
Olympics.
pretty well.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have Summer
Canada's bad
Olympics.
at Summer Olympics. So
Yeah.
We have
I
Summer
cheer-
Olympics.
I cheer on Team USA for Summer Olympics. So
No, yeah. But the only reason why I'm rooting for the Bengals is because of I live in Nebraska, so the coach played quarterback at Nebraska, and like we have a couple of Nebraska ties, so that's why I'm rooting for the Bengals. But that's
you know what, Luke?
forgot.
If it airs at
I
the Super
forgot
Bowl,
for-
I will message you and be like, I'm sorry.
Go
Yeah.
Rams, because Cooper Cup.
Boom. Anyway,
Yeah,
but
the Rams are in it too. Like, what the hell?
yeah,
At
I
the-
know,
The
right?
The funny thing is,
Yeah.
so the Super Bowl is being held at the Rams stadium, but the
This is
Rams are the away team.
ridiculous. I hate this so much.
This is the second time it's happened. Last year was the first year.
Yeah, but were the
Don't remind me of
Bucks
last
a
year.
home team?
Yes.
'Cause I mean-
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Chiefs were.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, so Midnight Horizon actually came out. It's Daniel Jose Older's book. I'm about 12 chapters in. Love it. We'll probably have a review of it later this week.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's it. And then Book of Boba Fett Chapter 6 reactions, thoughts. Char and I won't get into too much detail because we've got the roundtable tomorrow, which will be fun to go in depth. But for everybody else in here, thoughts on that freaking episode last night?
I cried a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
3 or 4 times.
Oh.
I'm still waiting for my crying clips.
Can
so
we-
can
I am
post them on
emotionally
TikTok.
unavailable for the next 3 to 5 business days because of that.
Talk to the hand because I'm crying every day.
I feel guilty for loving these last 2 episodes because
Why?
because this is a Book of Boba Fett and he was not in it at
Yeah,
all.
those last, yeah. I'm a Boba Fett stan. Like Boba Fett is my favorite character for like my whole life, and in the past 2 episodes, he's only had like what, maybe like 30, 45
23.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I
Which,
saw
mean,
a tweet.
It's fine, but like everything else was just.
I think you can be upset about that, but also like I feel like I do not deserve the content in these episodes. Like I didn't know I needed these so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Exactly.
needed everything. I needed,
everything so much.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and we got one more to go.
Oh, so, like, here's the thing. So, I saw this as, like, I saw a tweet. I don't know who tweeted it, but I will try to find, like, and give them credit later on. But, like, they came out and said, this is, like, the most Boba Fett thing, though. Because it's like, think about it in the original trilogy. He's hardly in it.
Everyone
and he's a
loves it.
badass. And like they gave us the first half. Like that's why I think they had so much story on him in the beginning, because they knew these the in between 2 episodes were going to be more about Mando. And coming in, like it was already said, like this is Mando 2.5. Like it really is. Like it's not just Boba Fett's story. It's the continuation of Mando. So like seeing all these things with Din and seeing, I mean, god damn, like
the main reason why I'm not so upset about Boba Fett taking like a little step down from everyone else is that when Mando season 2 was happening, when Boba Fett had his little thing on Tython, that was Boba Fett. Boba Fett had the spotlight there.
Yeah.
And then now when it comes to the Boba Fett show, it was Mando spotlight. So it's kind of like a little exchange,
little
but
switch.
it's
Like evening out. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna see Boba ride a Rancor, and he's gonna eat a couple of people, and then he's gonna, cause some havoc on that, dust ball of
I
sand.
think
So.
my favorite thing is that somehow the Skywalkers still managed to make it about them. Like all the nods to like Anakin and Padme, like Anakin all throughout the Boba Fett series, like
The
with
end of the
Emotional-
Skywalker saga.
yeah,
Not
like
going anywhere.
I really thought my boyfriend and I really like we talked and we were like, oh, it's gonna be fun to get. It's kind of fun to get some content like, outside the Skywalkers and then we were just like, well, never mind. Not that I'm complaining, but
No, yeah, I like when Ahsoka showed up. Like, if you haven't seen that TikTok of us reacting to it, like I'm like, what the she doing here when Mando wakes up, and like even seeing R2 in the beginning, I was like,
yeah,
oh, it's R2.
R2.
I was just
my
saying
God.
no because I couldn't believe we were actually. I thought I was living in a Twilight Zone. I thought I was dreaming there for a hot second.
When she said she was a friend of the family,
Oh.
I actually cried in my school cafeteria. I watched this at my lunch hour yesterday, and
Aw.
like I was sitting in the school cafeteria, and I was just like, I had to like video chat Simply Skywalking after, and he was just like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, like I'm not okay."
I messaged her and I was like, so how's it going? And she's
I'm
like,
not okay.
"You're not okay." And I was like, oh God. But yeah, what was everybody's favorite part of this episode?
Oh, just
Yoda's
like
theme.
your father. No, sorry.
Yeah.
You're just like your father.
just like
That
So
your
much
broke me.
like your father.
So much like your father.
Yeah, mine was when Luke and Grogu are walking, and Luke's like, "You remind me a great deal of someone."
I'm thinking of all that.
I know.
Just like picks him up just with the force and just here you
You
go.
remind me a
Let's
great deal of
move.
someone that I know. My master named Yoda, and then Yoda's theme started playing, and I'm a huge Empire Strikes Back guy,
Yes.
and I got choked up. It was great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I liked when the little training nod to Empire Strikes Back when he's running through and he does the flip. He's got
Yeah,
Yeah,
one back instead of
backpack.
Yoda. That was
Oh.
awesome.
My brain just thought of one. The flashback he had.
Yeah, I cried.
Yes.
I feel like every comment to answer with this for me is I cried, but like I did really like when Grogu just kind of passed out on the rock too.
Yeah.
That was
He's
a
been doing
really...
that forever.
Or when like he got so fed up that he just broke the little training thing, and he was like, "Nah, I'm done with this."
Yeah, and are we not going to
Also-
acknowledge when Grogu tried jumping?
Yeah.
My favorite
That's all
part,
you got?
honestly, was my boyfriend's reaction to this because he's not a Star Wars fan. So I like watching him watch the shows because he doesn't know. Well, he's been watching all of The Mandalorian and all of Boba Fett, but he doesn't really like.
Quite.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't quite. He just watches the show because that's how he got into Star Wars, is watching The Mandalorian.
Uh-huh.
And the first time he saw who Ahsoka was from The Mandalorian. He was just like, you know, she sucks, Mariah. Like, this is your
Yeah,
hero.
but you gotta love that. You have to love that because
Oh,
when you
yeah.
know people that are watching that and they have no idea who that is, and I'm like, I love that you don't know who that
Okay.
is.
Exactly. And that's why I loved his reaction. It was funny to me because I get another perspective. But of course, he saw Ahsoka in this one. He was like, she's a bitch. And I was like, he goes,
Bro,
she's
no.
He's got emotional
No.
damage.
it was so funny. She was like, she's a bitch. She won't let Mando go see Grogu. And I was like, that's because there's a Jedi. Like, he doesn't understand like the Jedi way.
This
So
is
he was
the
just like,
point,
"She's a bitch."
honey. This is the
Right.
point. Do I have to sit you down and make you watch the entire series again? Come
Oh,
on.
he won't. He refused.
That's when you
he
just
can't.
pull up a picture of Anakin and go, "This is why."
Well,
You're trying too hard.
he's seen.
Don't
yeah,
do
he doesn't
or
understand
don't
that.
try. Do.
He's seen like obviously the prequels and everything else, but he doesn't understand that Ahsoka was his Padawan because he doesn't
Right.
watch the Clone Wars. So he's like,
Right.
okay, I'll just go with it. He doesn't understand what it means.
Oh.
What it means.
Just
Yeah.
play a montage of Ahsoka on YouTube and have him sit down and not like you don't, honey. You don't have to watch the series. You
didn't know who
just
Luke
watch
was?
the montage.
No,
What?
when Luke,
Did he watch the original series?
Bro, what?
He when Luke came in at the end.
Man's got to go. I'm
end,
kidding.
At the end of Mandalorian, when Luke came in with his X-wing and his glove and his green lightsaber, and I'm just like, look, he pissed me off. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss, but
No,
he had like he had no reaction. He was like,
dude.
he was like, Jedi. Like, I was like, get out of here.
And
Like,
then there's the rest of us screaming our butts
Right.
off,
And
just
he
being like,
is
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend did.
Yeah.
She was just
Yeah.
like sitting there like, oh, X-Wing, a guy wearing a black outfit with a green lightsaber. I'm
That's
like,
exactly how
how
Eric
do you
was
not
the
get-
whole
I knew
do
when
we
the-
all
when-
have partners who are like more passive Star Wars fans than
Yeah,
there's us? Like,
basically.
because Max knows like everything, but he's kind of just like, okay, cool, like that's great.
Yeah,
I
but
knew
he doesn't.
exactly who it was right when Cara Dune said, great, one X-Wing, we're saved. I knew exactly who that was.
Yep.
Yeah,
I knew exactly
knew-
who Cad Bane was just by the hat in the end of Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett. Like
I-
I
I-
knew
Yeah,
exactly who he
he
was.
did.
Luke didn't think so.
I
did.
was like, there's no way they're doing this.
Right when that
No,
first
like we've
trailer
already
popped
gotten
up, I was
I
like,
knew
so
it.
much
is that
from
Cad
this
I
Bane?
knew it.
Yeah, I was
It was
like,
funny because he called me and he was like, "Yeah, that blue character, he was kind of odd, wasn't he?" I was like, "It's Cad Bane. Hang up.
it's,
Like, it's
I'm
so
not
funny.
explaining this to you."
Characters-
Yeah.
These characters mean so much to us, but to just regular people or regular fans of Star Wars, they're like, "Oh, cool," and then we're over here sobbing. Like,
Right?
yeah,
He-
I was.
yeah.
it's either you get
was-
it
but-
or you don't.
But he was like, "Hey, that was a great episode." He goes, "Ahsoka's a bitch, though." I was like, "Okay,
Well,
I'm so sorry."
and also,
With
well,
reason. You know what? Maybe she's got the reason. It's fine.
so like, here's the other thing. Like, so Straw Hat Goofy put up his review of it, and he had never seen, and this is like the bad part of like the Star Wars fandom. They like put him down because he hadn't seen. He was like, "Oh, Cad Bane." He like this.
Yeah,
the
he didn't
blue
know
guy
who
was
Cad Bane
cool.
was, and then the
Yeah.
toxic fandom.
Like jumped down his
targeted him.
throat. I'm like, what? This is why people don't like Star Wars. Is because of people like that. Like you
Star
So
don't.
Wars
did he
fandom
not?
is very
Did he
toxic.
not know?
No,
like,
he
they
didn't
were.
know. He didn't.
No, he
He's
didn't know who
never
Cad
seen the
Bane
Clone
was,
Wars,
but
and
it's
he's
like,
never seen Rebels.
it's
He's like
fine.
your basic casual
Yeah,
fan,
that's
which is fine.
Right.
But like
Just
people
like
were
some movies and stuff.
just
Like,
jumping
why you
down
gotta
his
do
throat.
that to him? Like, we are supposed to be the peacekeepers of the Star Wars TikTok, and everyone that just hears a big creator not know a character that we happen to know, that doesn't mean he should get shot down for it. That's ludicrous.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
and people need
it's
to
nuts.
understand not everyone had access to Clone Wars and Rebels until Disney
Yes.
Plus, and it's
Exactly.
a lot of commitment to sit down and watch the
Yeah.
Clone Wars and Rebels, like a
Yeah,
lot
and
of time. And some
I
people
remember-
don't like animation. Like
I
I can't get Eric to watch animation because he just hates
doesn't
it.
like the
Some
style.
people are like
I was
that.
a bit
Absolutely.
scared to come on here, and like I read when you guys gave me that. I figured you guys would be nice, but like
Yeah.
people like you sent that you were like, oh, I want you to ask you like how you got into Star Wars, and I was like, well, I've been told I'm not a real fan because I wasn't raised with it, and I was like,
I wasn't raised with it either.
I wasn't. I was not.
wasn't
My
raised with it
dad.
either.
I was raised with Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, and like
Lord of the Rings.
we
Yeah.
didn't watch Star Wars. We just didn't. He watched
I
Star
found
Trek
Star
more
Wars
than
all
Star
by
Wars.
myself.
I chose.
I don't
Pirates
like
of-
Star Trek, but like
No,
it's not my
I
thing.
chose-
but-
I've never
I
seen Star
chose
Trek.
I chose Pirates of the Caribbean over seeing Revenge of the Sith.
And that's
Uh,
you know what? That's
I was
Your
I was a
choice.
girl. I was
Luke,
a
no,
little
I
don't
girl.
let
get
your
that.
personal
I-
feelings get in the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey,
Yeah.
no, you know what? Those pirate movies are like that's a
That
top
was-
5 franchise for me.
Dead Man's
I love that
Chest
franchise.
hits
Yes.
different.
Yes, Dead Man's Chest
it.
is the best Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and I will not be taking any questions. That is it.
Yeah, but when I was younger, obviously when Revenge of the Sith and everything was coming out, I was like, okay, Star Wars. I legit thought Star Wars was for boys. So I was like, this is for boys. Let's go
Yeah.
on. So I went to go see Pirates of the Caribbean because it had a leading female in it, and I was like,
No,
this is
that makes
amazing.
sense. And
So-
she was
Well,
and she was
and-
Sabe.
Yep.
She was
And
Sabe.
as like
Yeah, which I
as a
didn't know that either.
23-year-old woman, I'm still told like you only watch Star Wars for the attractive men, and I'm like, have you seen the women in Star Wars? First of all,
Yeah.
second of all, like, so you're telling me that you don't watch it for the hot women, like, but anyways, obviously
You're telling me
that's
like
not true.
episode 6
I do
Leia?
watch. I'll be honest, I do watch it for Daddy One Kenobi. So
Yeah.
I mean,
uh-huh.
I'm a huge Hayden Christensen stan, so like I
Yeah.
can't say anything. I do watch
Yeah.
it because I do love the character. Like
It makes sense with
people
the
that play
Padme
them.
outfit.
Yeah, that and like he's Canadian, so I mean like that's also
it's
a
also
win.
could,
Yes,
that
that's-
also could be a factor. Yeah.
I mean, his like farm is a couple hours away. I know where he lives, but like not actually like,
Find him.
not
Find
like
him now.
where I don't know where his house is, but I know what like general like couple cities it's kind of located in because people have met him like in the cities nearby. So like, it's just-
That's interesting, and I feel like
I don't
in
think
the-
he's here right now, anyways. But like he hasn't really been in Canada. I don't.
he's
think, but-
probably doing stuff for Ahsoka, I would imagine, because they're starting
Yeah.
filming here. I think next month, actually.
Since COVID, he's been spending more time in the States, probably to stay near his daughter. I'm
Yes,
assuming it's harder to
that's
kind of
right.
get back and forth, but like
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like what Mariah said about not having the access to Clone Wars and Rebels. I remember when I was 15 and watching Rebels, I didn't get to watch every single episode on Disney XD. Like I bought some seasons on my phone through Apple, and that's how I watched it. And
Yeah.
and I know Clone Wars was on Netflix for a period of time, but
Mm-hmm.
and like that was it. Like there wasn't much availability for them, and now it's simple.
Yeah, but whenever, because I was older, so when Clone Wars was out, I missed episodes because I was in middle school, high school, going through
Yes,
that,
I
and
agree.
I was in high school at the time, and of course I couldn't watch it. It was also in sports, but
Mm-hmm.
it would come out in Walmart. My mom would get us the season DVDs, and we would binge watch the DVDs that we would get. So I still have the original DVDs from the Clone Wars seasons 1 through, I believe it's 1 through 3, or no, 1 through 4, and then it was on Netflix, and then Netflix became popular and watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, that I mean, this is my issue with some of the Star Wars fandom. Like you guys shouldn't I'm one that grew up with it from like when I was young. My first ever movie was The Phantom Menace. Like theatrical movie that she ever took me to was The Phantom Menace. So like seeing other people put people down for not, oh, you weren't there from day one. Like fuck you. Like don't
I
contradict
wasn't
me.
born.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't
Oh,
contradict people for not don't be
I wasn't
gatekeeping
born.
because they didn't have access or weren't interested. Like Star Wars isn't for everybody, and the reason for it is because of people like that. Like you
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't like the whole thing is like you need to be welcoming, whether they just got into it during the pandemic, because that's where a lot of people started watching Star Wars for the first time,
They
is
had
the
time.
pandemic. And like the fact that people are just like, oh, you don't know who Revan is? Like, shut the fuck up.
Gate,
Like,
Yeah.
I hate
ugh.
how
gatekeeping is so.
I went to go see Phantom Menace in theaters too, but I was so I don't remember. I actually took a nap in
I,
it.
I think I was 5. I was born in
Yeah, I was so
95,
fun.
so I was born
Wait,
in
what
95,
month
so I
did
was
it come
5.
out?
It came out in
May.
May.
I was
Yeah,
1 month old.
Bam. You were alive. You were alive.
I was alive.
You're in now, so
I
it
wasn't
don't
alive at the
matter.
time.
Episode
Wait,
1,
it
I
was
was
in
14.
it came out in 1999, didn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
Oh,
did.
90.
Yeah,
Oh, so I
yeah,
was
9.
4. I was 4.
Yeah, May
Yeah,
of
I
99.
was. Sorry, I was born
I
in
wasn't even a thought
94,
yet.
so
So you were
yeah,
Five?
what
5, 6 years old. 6?
were you would have been turning No, you would have been
March.
5 going into yeah, so you would have just turned 5.
Okay.
And then it came out in May of
Yeah,
that year.
my uncle was supposed to be babysitting me and my cousin. He took both of us.
I respect
And
that
he-
That's a
so
good
much.
uncle. That's a good uncle.
And yeah, and he was 16. He was 16 at the time,
Oh,
and
that's
he
awesome.
took
As a
No,
new
he
aunt,
had-
I respect that so much.
and he took me and my cousin, and we took a nap in Phantom Menace, and I was so confused.
Yeah. It's jarring as a 4 or 5 year
confusing.
old. But like seeing Darth Maul, like the Duel of the Fates as a 4-year-old, I was like, yes, this is my shit.
I
This is
fell
the
asleep before that.
best.
I fell asleep before that.
My sister hates Star Wars. Like my mom dragged her along. Like she knew I would love it because that's just who I am. Like I love this type of shit. So like I was hooked from the beginning. And like the one thing I will say, like me and my Star Wars fandom, my mother made me an Anakin, like from scratch, made me an Anakin Skywalker costume. And I was
Aw.
Anakin Skywalker for 4 straight Halloweens.
That's
I was
so
Elizabeth
cute.
Swan for 4 straight years.
Boom! It's like my mom is so freaking
She made-
talented. It's
yeah.
just amazing.
My grandma
made
made
me
me a
mad.
phoenix costume, and everyone thought I was a chicken.
Oh,
It was a really good costume, though.
Dude, I don't doubt that. I don't know where you get a chicken from. That makes 0 sense. But
I mean, you know what? Like, it was just my sister I just had a baby 8 months ago. I have a nephew, and she's convinced that I am not going to get him into Star Wars. But like,
yeah,
she's like, no, you're not allowed. It's not
already-
happening.
I'm
He
already
was
on my
crying. I played the Clone Wars theme. Stop crying. It's destiny.
I'm already on my
yeah.
quest to get my 4-year-old nephew into Star Wars. He turns 4
gonna
this month,
happen.
but yeah.
Oh no, I've already gotten all my nephews into it.
Good.
Already did, and they of course, they say I'm like of course I'm the cool aunt,
Yep.
and they come over just to play with. They say I want to go play with Aunt Mariah's toys. And I was like, well, you can't. So
Yeah, my girlfriend's
They
younger
cost
cousin the
too
other
much
day.
money.
Yeah, my girlfriend's cousin the other day was talking to me about last week's episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and he was just nonstop going and going and going because he knows like what I do, like and like how much I love Star Wars, and he just kept asking me questions. I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, nice, yeah. So I was just like, supporting him and showing some love. It's awesome.
my niece Ava, she every time she sees Ahsoka, she goes, "Oh, that's Mariah," and I'm just like, "Oh, I love her so much." Every time she sees Ahsoka, she's because obviously what I do on my social media, and she just knows, "Oh, that's Mariah." I'm like, oh, "Yes, it is."
That's goals.
That's
I want
awesome.
someone to look at me and go, "That's Padme."
Oh yeah.
Someone actually accidentally calls you Natalie.
I have actually had people be like, I posted a picture somewhere and they're like, "I thought you were Natalie Portman," and I'm like, "No, you're just being nice. Shut up."
No. Like honestly, that is like when I was like, holy crap, that is Padme. Like that's scary. You are scary. Like its resemblance is uncanny.
I get
You
both.
are
I
her
get like
doppelganger.
I get doppelganger, and then I get she's way prettier than you. You don't look like her at all, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
I've gotten
like,
that.
You.
I've gotten that. I've cosplayed as Padme before, and it's like she's a lot prettier than you. I'm like, or you don't look like her. I'm like, well, I'm black, so.
I did a whole video. Like, I try so hard to keep my TikTok like free of gatekeeping and everything, and like I did a whole video, and I was like, I'm so tired of hearing Black creators say that people told them they can't cosplay certain characters because they're Black, and I'm like, no, shut up.
Yeah,
Just
constantly.
let
It's
them
all the
cosplay who they
time.
want. It doesn't matter.
I took my afros and I did a really cute Leia, and they were like, "This isn't accurate," and I was like,
Oh
"No
my
shit,
God.
It's
not supposed to be.
She doesn't have an afro."
Cosplay is meant for fun.
Yeah, I would love to see. I have to. I don't know if I follow you, but I have to follow you because I would love to see like.
Right now, I have a lot of followers because I got on the Disney side. I did a closet cosplay of one Encanto. I'm taking a break from TikTok because the Disney, these kids are so mean. They're so mean.
Yeah,
That's okay. They're taking down like TikTok is being really hard. They're like taking down so many of my videos for like nudity, but it's just my face. So like
Yeah, you gotta stop that.
You gotta stop being so pretty. Stop
Get rid of
it.
your face.
like I
on.
appeal it and they're like, no, this violates community guidelines. And I'm like, how? It's my face.
That should be a compliment.
I've been banned on TikTok, and they said, "Oh yeah, I violated the community guidelines," but they never said what I did.
I do like
Come
an
on.
Empress Amidala AU. Like I do like an alternate universe. I can't do it on there anymore. They keep taking it down. It's gonna have to be an Instagram exclusive, I think, because I can't post on there. They keep taking it down.
The one that with the one
I've done Hut Slayer before, and I've never gotten it flagged.
Hut Slayer was fine, but as soon as I wear like a corset, they go ham, and it's not okay. Like
I'm not that big.
I think it's red lighting. Like
maybe
because I use the red lighting, and that's when my videos get. But like I don't know.
I see that. It's because of that trend.
Oh yeah,
probably.
yeah. I think it's the silhouette trend. I think.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So the last part we're gonna talk about, Bryce Dallas Howard is set to direct one episode of The Mando. Why can't she direct more than one episode? Give her a whole damn.
Because there's like 6 different directors.
No, but like she has proven herself. Give her directive reins on a show. Like she did so well with Chapter 5.
Give her the movie series that they were going to give the Game of Thrones directors. Give her that.
Or give her Solo 2. I want Solo 2.
Oh, yeah. Her and her dad.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be so beautiful.
Yeah. Ron Howard directed Solo, and then
that would be awesome.
He co-directed.
What did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he did the second half of it. Because the first director. Something happened. I forgot what happened.
Lord and Miller.
I thought he said Load and Greatstorm. I was like, oh, nice.
No, yeah, Load and Greatstorm came in and did some stuff. But and also, Chris, give me my goddamn Lando show.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
saying that before the show. I was like, I need news about this Lando show. I need it
We are
immediately.
getting it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we are, but we haven't
Yes.
heard anything.
But for the love of God, keep Billy D alive. Put him in bubble wrap. Keep him away from people so that he doesn't get COVID. Because for the love of God, if I don't get Billy D in that show, it's not real. It's not real.
Now this is a life day party.
Yeah, exactly. Like I need the Lando. I need Billy D.
Oh,
I
nice, a
also
cape.
want both of them in it.
Yes,
I kinda
Donald.
want-
So I
yes,
want like
yes, I want Donald Glover in it so bad.
I
'Cause he
don't
did
know if they'll
such a
go
good
for
job with them.
that. I don't know if they'll do that though. I want them to, but I don't think they will for some
I
reason.
love him so much, though. How
I have
can you not?
potential bad
He's
news.
such.
Spill the
Oh,
beans,
no.
Chris.
Chris, how dare you?
Spill the
See,
beans.
This is
Let me
not
know.
cool because, like as you know, for Lando, content. We're getting the Shadows of the Sith book,
Yeah, I'm
and
excited.
that's gonna be
excited.
amazing to read because it's like Luke and Lando's relationship, like them trying to find Ochia Bastoon, and like Rey's parents show up. Like
An
that's
old
gonna be a
Jedi
whole other
hunter.
thing. Yeah. But like I said, Bryce Dallas Howard needs to direct more. She did an amazing job.
She should definitely get her own show, or at the very least, anything that Robert Rodriguez is going to direct, just replace him with her because she's a lot better at it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think one's better than the other. I just think that they're both great. I just think that Bryce Dallas Howard used what she had for the episode better than what Robert Rodriguez has had. So
Mhm.
Which
it's
one did
pretty
he
simple.
direct?
He directed the first 4, I believe.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know
really
that.
hard
I
to
don't know if
compare
I'm-
the first 4 to like
Yeah,
the content was a
This-
lot different.
Yes.
Let me
It's
double check
very,
that. I'm
like-
pretty sure he directed the first 4.
I thought
I
they
was really
were
pissed
different.
off the Space Vespas episode. I thought that was the only one.
Yeah, I thought so too. But I
they
could
gave.
be wrong.
Also, you have to think that they also gave Bryce Dallas Howard like amazing content to work
Yeah.
with. too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she did do it beautifully.
Yeah, the way we got the Mandalorian, like the armor giving us like a, in my opinion, a spewed, like a different point of view of.
Do we know who's directing the last one?
I think it's John, if I remember
I
correctly.
think I heard it's John, but I don't remember for sure.
Oh.
Don't quote me on that.
Let's see how. I'm gonna count how many Iron Man references we get this time.
Yeah. That and so, let's see here. Where's the IMDb?
I'm going on Disney Plus and seeing because I know Steph Green directed the 4th one, I think.
Okay, hold on. So where is it at? Director.
I'm sorry, making you guys have to do extra. work.
No, I like doing this. So John Favreau writing credits, series directed by. So Dave did one, Steph Green did one, Bryce Dallas Howard did one, and then Kevin is doing one. So I
Kevin.
think Kevin I don't know.
Kevin.
Feige.
No, Kevin Torino? He's directed.
Quentin Tarantino. What?
No.
I heard the same thing.
He's done Glee. He's done Agents
Oh.
of Shield.
I'm watching it right now. Almost done.
Ooh.
Almost done with Glee. Yeah.
He directed an episode of Tell Me a Story. He's done Titans, one episode of Titans. The Flash, he's done a couple of episodes. Arrow, he did as well.
Is he doing the last episode?
I don't know. It doesn't really give me much to
Or
I feel like
did he do
Favreau
one
should
of
do
the-
that.
Or did he already do the past ones? Because if he did the past ones, that makes sense because
No, he hasn't done any of them.
He hasn't done any of them because the first 3. He might have done episode 4 because it says Robert Rodriguez did the first 3, and then
No, 4 was Seth Green or Steph Green.
Steph Green. Oh, there's a woman. She's a woman. There you go.
I will-
Hello.
I will retract my previous statement because I thought Robert Rodriguez only did one, and those were good episodes. That's
Okay,
cool.
so Steph
Oh, no,
Green
actually,
did
no,
Steph Green did the second episode. She did the Tribes
We're
of
mixing this whole thing
Tatooine.
up. Yeah. Episode 4 was that Kevin guy or Quentin Tarantino,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
Kevin. Yeah, Kevin did chapter 4. Robert Rodriguez has done.
So they have been
um,
alternate. Okay, I always thought that Robert Rodriguez directed the first few.
Okay, so actually, he hasn't. Okay, so I don't know why they're giving him directing credit for, because it looks like he's done Streets of Mos Espa, Gathering Storm, Return of Mandalorian, but he's like executive produced on those. He hasn't directed
Yeah.
them. Dave directed obviously the last episode, and Bryce Dallas Howard did the one before that. So I think he's done the first, and I think he's gonna do the last one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's very likely.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
but
They usually
Makes
do
sense.
too.
but guys, I think that's gonna be it for the episode. Thank you everybody in the chat that showed up. Jedi Smark, St. Pat, Brian with the beard, Chaco, Carter, Chatting Time, Chris, Aiden Talk Star Wars Topics. Thanks everybody for showing up. And where can we find everybody on social media? I will start with David.
So I'm Xanatos1138 on pretty much everything, most frequently lately on TikTok and Twitter. And I do Star Wars lore. I will do funny video edits a little bit. And I have done cosplay. I haven't done much lately. I am probably one of the few non-toxic Revan cosplayers. But that's the current one I have. I've got the mask. I got a lightsaber. I do daily lightsaber videos too. So yeah, that's pretty much a mixture of Star Wars things.
Alicia, where can we find you?
You can find me at the Naboo.Senator, just like it's written on here, on Instagram. TikTok's where I'm most active, and then if you're actually interested in like how I build my cosplays, Patreon is the best way to see that.
Awesome. And Mariah.
Yes, my name is MariahCarleyy with 2 Y's at the end. You can find me on TikTok and on Instagram. I'm more active on there. I just did a cosplay of, I guess we can call it live action Ahsoka now. So the Mandalorian version of Ahsoka. I just did that, and I'm debuting a special version of Obi-Wan.
Ooh.
So I've already did a little sneak peek on my TikTok. So if you guys want to go over there and check it out and see which one it is.
Ooh.
It's really
I'm gonna
awesome.
follow you on Instagram right now.
There you
Oh,
go.
thank you, and I'll follow you back. I'm on my phone, so I can't right now.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Char,
Oh, I love it.
You're supposed to say, "Where can the good people
where can
find
the
you?"
good people?
And then
Where
I'm
are
like,
the good people
"Well, good
find
people."
you?
See, there you go. Good people. You can find me on TikTok at CharCharJ, spelled just like this, and you can find me here every Wednesday morning for our Book of Boba Fett watch-alongs, every Thursday night for our Clone Wars arc reviews, and Friday night for our Book of Boba Fett roundtable talk for this week's episode. So that's where you can find me.
And you guys can find me at the Pod Ones Podcast on TikTok, at Pod Ones on Twitter, and on Instagram at the Pod Ones Pod. Same things for Char. Wednesday mornings, reviews, reactions and watch-alongs. Thursday nights, obviously the rewatch of the Clone Wars, and then Friday night roundtable. You might see me in a certain cosplay coming up. And
I saw what you did, man. I saw what you did.
That's all I'm going to say. That's where I'm going to leave
I
it.
have spoken.
We will see how this goes, but that is all the information I'm giving out. But for Light and for Life,
and may the Force be with you always. Thanks, guys.
have a good night, guys.
Have a good